I've always struggled and used food as a way of coping with my emotions. When I was in my mid-20s, I actually had a formal diagnosis of anorexia. When I was 30, it came back with a vengeance, and I was hospitalised for 6 weeks on an acute psychiatric ward because my weight had got dangerously low. At that point as well, due to the shame and the guilt that I felt for my family and people I was hurting really from what I was going through. I was self-harming quite a lot as well. Since then, that was 4 years ago. I've been in recovery since. I'm no longer taking any medication. I'm not in therapy anymore. I've been out of therapy for about 3.5 years. It is very secretive, and even speaking about it today, and even now, my thoughts are sort of making me question if I'm doing the right thing talking about it, and should I be telling people, and are people going to judge me? Are they going to think that I can't do my job properly? All those sort of things, which it shouldn't be like that. It wants you to suffer in silence. It wants full control over you, and by talking to people and having them support you, which has been my experience, is the only way to combat it. You can't do it on your own. Sort of looking at Christmas, I made the decision last year to speak to a friend of mine who was coming on the Christmas do and telling her how anxious I was and how worried I was. And she was there throughout the whole evening with me, and I couldn't have done it without her. And it just made me, I was worried beforehand, should I speak to someone? And it just taught me that, yeah, you should. There's a lot of focus on food at Christmas. Where you're going to be eating, whose house you're going to, what you're eating. There's such a big focus on overindulgence. Lots of different meals, sort of Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year, treats that you're given at Christmas, lots of chocolate around. People talking about how much they've eaten, how much weight they're going to have put on, how they need to do something about it after Christmas. And to sort of a normal person, i.e. someone that hasn't got an eating disorder, eating a couple of big meals, yeah, you might put on a couple of pounds, but you're not going to suddenly double in weight. Well, for myself, and I'm guessing for somebody else with an eating disorder, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like you've failed.